So, guys, if you didn't catch it, I made a reaction video for the Barcelona game and the Real Madrid game in the Champions League, the one that ended up having Barcelona go straight through to the next round of the UCL, and Real Madrid, unfortunately, outside of the top 8, will have to play a wild card, or what they call it here, a Champions League playoff game. So I wanted to take this time really quick to look at those games because I haven't seen it. I haven't seen anything yet. I know the draw was earlier this morning. Obviously, I know that Real Madrid goes against the team that they go against, but I haven't seen the rest of them, so I wanted to take a look at that and analyze something a little bit outside of my typical Real Madrid and Barcelona. I want to see what the entire Champions League looks like. Now, I'm not going to be analyzing what it's going to look like after those matchups because I think there's still a redraw, or it's dependent on certain standings, okay, if this team goes through, they automatically go against this team and vice versa. So I'm not gonna go further than what these matchups are. I just wanted to take a look at each matchup individually, one by one, and kind of analyze it, see what I think is gonna happen in those games and all that good stuff. So let's move on here and check these games out. Again, I haven't seen anything yet besides the Real Madrid matchup, obviously. So the table ended up like this in the top 8. Number 1, Arsenal, undefeated, 8-0. Amazing. Literally perfect score. Only 4 goals against, 23 goals in favor, a plus 19 goal differential, and a perfect record. Bayern Munich, who usually ends Champions League group stages, at least when it was still a group stage and not a league phase, they would ended up pretty much undefeated. This year, they were close to doing that, except they had to go against Arsenal. And that's their only loss against the first place, which is Arsenal. These two teams, I'll tell you right now, are among my 2 favorites to win the entire Champions League. My original prediction was that Arsenal will win it. Arsenal looks like a team that has been through hell and back, and they have. Because 3 years in a row, an intense, highly competitive Arsenal has finished second place in the Premier League, what is to me the most competitive league in all of football, and I think in all of history, man. I think maybe with the exception of possibly that Italian league in the 90s and stuff, but what we're seeing right now in the Premier League is just phenomenal. Yeah, it's the same guys fighting in the top, but week after week, you're just going against Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, Newcastle, Tottenham, Liverpool, Manchester United, Manchester City. Every week, it's just battle of heavyweights. Teams like Bayern Munich, they don't have to deal with that. Teams like Barcelona, maybe once or twice a year, they'll deal with really big juggernauts like Real Madrid and sometimes Atleti. But for the most part, they don't really got to worry about it week after week. These guys got to worry week after week about a big team. Half the time they're going against a huge team, and the way they invest in that league, man, I should make a Premier League video, honestly. But let's continue here. So Bayern Munich basically undefeated except against Arsenal. Then Liverpool 6-2, 2 losses and 6 wins, no draws. So no draws from these top 3 teams. Either they win or they lose. Tottenham, 4th place. Let's take a minute to appreciate Tottenham in 4th place because I don't know where they're at in Premier League, but I don't think they're in the top 4. I'll tell you that right now. We can check it later, but I'll probably forget. But Tottenham, top 4, is impressive. What that means is if I'm looking at this as a Barcelona fan or just a fan of these of these bottom 4 of the top 8, they will not have home field advantage for the second leg the way these 4 will. So these 4 teams right here have secured home field advantage for the most part of the season, of the tournament, until they have to go against each other. Arsenal basically gets to play every single away second leg match home. So that's a huge advantage for them. They'll be at home with their home crowd for any resolution to any series. So that's huge. But the higher you are, the more likely you are to have that situation. Especially if you're going to go against the bottom after the top 8, so 9 to 24. If you're going to go against some of those, you'll have home field advantage for the most part. Barcelona at number 5, 5 draws, 5 wins, 1 draw, 2 losses. So only 5 wins out of 8. Could be better, could be worse. But I think Barcelona, these 3 games, what was it? It was Chelsea and PSG were their most important games, and they lost both of them. So that tells you a lot about what Barcelona has been. To be fair, both of those games we were without Rafinha. I think we might have been without Joan Garcia for 1 or 2. Maybe Pedri. So that matters. But for the most part, those 2 games that we didn't win were against tough opponents. This one was the game where we dropped unnecessary points. We went into a game kind of half-heartedly to say against Brugge. Yeah, against Bruges or Brugge, however you want to call it. I remember that game. That was so annoying because we were basically coming back every single time. We would score and they score on us. We'd score and they score on us, and like that. Move this a little bit. Okay, 6th place is Chelsea. I think we got there because of the goal differential. Because if it's for matchup, Chelsea should be on top of us. Now, to be fair, that Chelsea game was an outlier game. I don't think it's a relatively realistic result. Because remember that Araujo got that early red card, and it was pretty much conditioned the game for the rest of the game. Then you have Sporting. This is impressive. Amorim had made Sporting a great team with Gyökeres. Bro. So annoying. And, with just a really good competitive Sporting, when he left, they kind of fell off a little bit, and now they're just right back to it in the top 8. Huge for Sporting. One team from Portugal is in the top 8. And then City pretty much beats out Real Madrid for that last spot in the top 8. 5-1-2, 5-1-2, 5-1-2. Look at this. All 4 with the same records. 2 losses, 1 draw, and 5 wins here. Real Madrid, with that loss to Benfica, could have been a win, and they could have been easily 6-2 like Liverpool in the top 3-4. With +9, they would have won. They would have had more, so they would have probably stayed in the top 3. Inter Milan 10th, PSG 11th, Newcastle 12th. So really huge teams that are barely missing out the top 8 with 15, 14, 13 points. You have Newcastle, Juventus, Atleti, and then it starts kind of diminishing. Atalanta, Bayer Leverkusen, Borussia Dortmund, and then these teams, Olympiacos, Brugge. Brugge made it through. Crazy. Galatasaray, Monaco made it through, who got destroyed by Real Madrid. Karabag, Bodo Glimt, and Benfica. So the way they did the draw is like if you're 9th or 10th, you go against either 24th or 23rd. And the way it happened was Real Madrid gets Benfica. But let's talk about this. Juventus goes against Galatasaray. The first game is going to be in Galatasaray Stadium. Yeah, so Juventus gets to finish this game off at home. I don't know. I can't tell you anything about this game because Juventus is supposed to be the favorite, but Juventus hasn't been good in a while, man. They've been struggling financially. Maybe after this they'll get out of it because I think this summer a lot of their contracts are over. There's going to be a lot of cleaning of their house. So maybe Juventus gets back to that top level, but it's been a while. Right now in Italy, it's just Inter. I'm surprised that Napoli got eliminated. We didn't talk about those. Let's talk about the guys that got eliminated really quick. So 25, Marseille got kicked out by Benfica. Pafos, Union, Eindhoven, Bilbao, the winning project. 2-4, embarrassing. Napoli, this is a crazy one, man. This is the one that I'm most surprised about. 2-4, Napoli, because they're dominating in La Liga in Serie A, I believe. So then you got Copenhagen. We got rid of them. Ajax, Eintracht Frankfurt, good riddance. Those guys did some sour stuff to Barcelona a few years back. Slavia, we went against them too. No wins. Winless Villarreal, dude. 1 draw, 7 losses, Villarreal. This is crazy too, man. To go winless, that's crazy, man. Cadet Almada, you get it. These guys are, I think, from Kazakhstan or something. You get it. Some of these teams, you get it. But Villarreal, dude, come on, man. We're not competing at all. Napoli, 2 wins, 2 draws, 4 losses. That's tough. But yeah, so that's the 32 teams and the 8 that got kicked out, the top 8 that make it through, and then the 24 or the 16 that have to go against each other. So Juve, Galatasaray, if I have to make a guess, I'm going to go with Juve. But who knows? Benfica, Real Madrid. This is possibly the worst thing that could have happened to Real Madrid because it's not so much they have to go against Benfica. Going against Benfica is not a big deal. It's the fact that they got to go against Jose Mourinho for a 2-leg series. That's tough, man, because he already got the better of you that first game. Now you have 2 games where you have to motivate this Real Madrid team that seems practically untouched, unmoved by anything any coach goes into that locker room and says. They don't care. They play for themselves. They don't care. And you saw it. You saw it against Benfica. I don't know, man. Obviously I'm gonna say Real Madrid, but it's Jose Mourinho. I'm gonna say Real Madrid just because they have to. I'll put the pressure on them. They have to win it. If they don't, it's a disaster. It's literally embarrassing. It's a crisis that they're in. If they lose to Benfica, 24th place. A Benfica that they helped inadvertently make it to playoffs, and then and how are you rewarded? You got to face them 2 more times. That's crazy. Dortmund, Atalanta. This is right here we're seeing a law of physics at play. A German team versus an Italian team. Dortmund should be the one that wins it. Atalanta's going to win this one. I'm calling it. Atalanta. PSG Monaco. Now, this is weird because I thought in a draw you're not supposed to be drawn with a team from your same league. But I guess, I don't know, they keep changing rules. They keep changing the way things are in Champions League. So whatever. I have PSG going through easily. They're gonna have a very, very abundant score at the end of this series, for sure. 6-0 probably on aggregate. And then the next 4 are Newcastle versus Karabakh. Newcastle should take it. And these are 2 teams that we got to watch out for because it's either PSG or Newcastle that's going to go against Barcelona. And I say we as in Barcelona. We got to watch out for these 2 teams. But for now, I don't know. I don't know if it's a reseed. I don't know if it's a seeding thing. We'll see later on. But today we'll talk about this, and I think Newcastle goes through Karabakh easily. Both 2 wins against Karabakh, 2 wins for PSG against Monaco easily. Bodo Glimt, Inter. Bodo Glimt has surprised many teams. Manchester City, Atletico de Madrid, both got losses, and both of them were the reason why Bodo Glimt makes it into playoffs. They were the 23rd seed. I think Inter should take it, but watch out for Bodo Glimt, especially at home. They might give an upset, but I think in the series, I think in the entirety of everything, Inter should take it. I'm giving it to Inter. Club Brugge versus Atletico de Madrid. Atletico de Madrid, to me, is the saddest story of all of football because they have the team, they have the players, they have the fan base, they have the financial strength to create a better team than and create better results than what they have. Now, to be fair, Diego Simeone is the reason why this team is like this, but at the same time, I think you take that team away from Simeone and you give it to somebody else, and I think they'll be a little bit more successful. It's like he creates this just to destroy it. For that reason, I'm not really sure how this is going to end, but I got to say Atleti Madrid, they have to win this. This is obvious. They got to be the one that wins it. So we'll see. And then Olympiacos, Bayer Leverkusen, should be Leverkusen, but I'm going to say Olympiacos just to change it up a bit. I'm going to say Olympiacos, and here I'm going to say Atleti. They have to do it. I'm going to put the pressure on them too. You can't lose against Brugge 2 games in You know what, man? No, I'm gonna say Brugge. Brugge beats Atleti. Atleti are in a weird way right now. And Olympiacos, I take them over Bayer Leverkusen. So those are my predictions, guys. This is the entirety of this video. This is basically a video where I'm giving you my predictions of what these series are going to be. And then later on, we'll come back to this and see if I was right. And then for that, we'll have the reseed to see what the round of 16 is going to look like. So until that, guys, get me in the comments, subscribe, like the video, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.